Good morning from Road Town in Tortola in the British Virgin Islands today. How lovely does this look? I'm off on tour today, so I'm not going till this afternoon though, so I have time to go out and explore the town. So that's my first job of the day. I always like to start a day of exploring with a good breakfast and a nice view. I have to meet at the end of the pier 10 minutes before my tour. Well, that's literally the length of the pier, so at least I don't have a long way to go. Little terminal there. A cruise neighbour today is the Costa Fascinosa. Seen a few Costas in my travels. Not sure I've ever seen this one. Sounds a bit familiar, but some of them have similar names. So, but anyway, there you go. Always nice to do a bit of cruise ship spotting, and we haven't had many cruise buddies actually on this trip. We had a few in Barbados, but yeah, we've been to some quite quiet islands as well, where it's just been us, which is also very nice. Got the little pier down there, leading into the terminal building, and then you can see the main town over there, which looks very colourful. According to the cruise news, it's about a 10-minute walk, so I'll check that out. Got a bit limited time today because I need to get back, but we'll go and have a look. There's plenty of yachts here in the British Virgin Islands. We're on little touch screens again, telling us that we're in Road Town, Tortola, and that the gangway is on deck 3 as usual. But this one's a bit of an unusual one. Actually, we had this in the cruise news. First place we've been to where you have to take a photo ID with you. Now actually, they say your passport or your driver's license, so if you've got a photo card driving license, I have that in my wallet, so I can leave my passport in the safe. Last week we never took our passports anywhere, so this is the first place we've done it, so just do keep an eye out if you have to do any of that sort of stuff. British Virgin Islands sign there. Oh, the ship's in the background. So in theory, there is Wi-Fi in the terminal building. It's not letting me join, so obviously you try and look out for your free Wi-Fi, saves yourself a bit of money. You've got this little terminal building here. These guys are looking a bit grey. I wasn't having much luck, and then all of a sudden as I'm filming, the Wi-Fi's kicked in and I'm getting all my notifications, so it is worth doing that, save yourself a little bit of money. Look how beautiful that blue water is. It's absolutely gorgeous. The pier isn't too far from the ship, so it should be easy for me to get to my tour a bit later on, so that's good to know. I did get free Wi-Fi at the pier, managed to make a WhatsApp call on, but the connection was a bit patchy, it kept cutting out on us, so it took about 3 attempts to have a half decent phone call. Out here on the pier, we've got all these little food shacks. Quite nice, so if you want a snack or something, you like going ashore and eating, there's a little cocktail bar there, and it's a little shopping, so there's all little shops around here. Jewellery, restaurants. Got a steel band down the back here. Apparently these open-sided buses, like Mr. Max bus service, are quite common in the Caribbean. So jump on a bus for a tour of the island if you want. You can get taxis into town if you want, or you can walk. It's a long concrete walk. So we're in Road Town, Tortola, in the British Virgin Islands. A few little bits. We're obviously down at the cruise pier down there. Lots of people are going to the Virgin Gorda on a tour. A few little bits and things to see. So let's go and have a look. They're not very wide pavements and there's a lot of people. So just watch yourself for stepping in the road. Very chaotic for such a small little place. Also very colourful. I'm not sure there's a huge amount here to see, in fairness. But I'd say probably more than Kingstown, St Vincent. If you want a day off, don't want to do a tour, you can definitely get off here and just have a bit of a walk. But I think it is also probably one of those islands that, yeah, it might be worth getting off and booking a tour for somewhere like this. Go and explore a bit further out. I've got some solo friends who are all going on the tour to Virgin Gorda. I'm going on a rig boat around the island. St William's Catholic Church there, a bit smaller than some of the churches I've been to. Quite colourful. Now, I think this must be the flag of the British Virgin Islands. Not sure it's Tortola itself or the islands as a general. And here we are, walking along. It's starting to rain. We've had a bit of liquid sunshine everywhere. I did actually bring my brolly for this one just in case, because we had a right downpour yesterday. So if it gets any heavier, that'll be what's going next. Usually short showers of these, but yeah, there's liquid sunshine in Road Town Tortola. Shucking it down. You can do one of these little covered buses, which you get wet around the edges, but at least you are covered up. Let's stay to this. Just got some beautiful sunshine. I did bring my brolly, thankfully. Look, stay at this. Literally 2 minutes ago, I was showing you the church and the flags. Oh, this has walked in. Actually, tipping it down. I'm going on a rig boat ride afterwards. I expect to get wet on that. Look at that. Oh, the thing with these though is they pass through. You get this and then it'll disappear and there'll be nothing. Mountains have disappeared. So ridiculous as it might sound, if you are coming to the Caribbean, bring a brolly. Rained every day, just for a little bit, but when it comes down, it comes down. So there's bone dry a minute ago. Alright. And then all of a sudden, everything's wet through and it's passed over. I've kept my brolly up just for a minute, because might need it, but it's you can tell it's just whooshed through and then it's gone. So the fast moving little storms give you a bit of a drenching. That's why they're all so lush in these Caribbean islands, to get loads of rain. Right. So Road Town feels very aptly named. It seems to be a road with a town around it. It's not very touristy. I've seen tsunami warning signs in the Pacific. I've never really thought about it in the Caribbean. Follow that sign to get to high ground. I presume they have alerts. So yeah, lots of colourful buildings. I've walked along the main street. Haven't really seen anything too exciting. Actually, the rain shower was probably the highlight. Can't honestly say I think there's much more to see here. I mean, there wasn't much on the map that made me think. And because I don't have a right lot of time, I think I'm going to turn round and head back to the port area, do the visitor shopping. Yeah, I can't say there's a huge amount to see here. It's pretty enough if you just want to get off for a walk, stretch your legs, you don't want to spend any money, you're planning a pool afternoon maybe, then very nice to just get off and have a wander. Definitely worth just saying you've been here as nothing else. But if you're actually wanting to see something a bit more substantial maybe, then yeah, I definitely suggest get yourself on a tour. Road Town does seem to be just a handful of roads, literally. One long one round here. See a few more colourful things over there. That's like a little souvenir area, so we'll try that bit. Yeah. Turn left at the top of the road, you come out a little souvenir market for tourists. Clearly used to the rain, they've got the plastic bags at the ready. Lots of clothes and hats and things like that. Lots of lively boys if you fancy beer as well. Got my souvenirs, gonna head back to the ship, ready for my tour. Marella Voyager there. And this is kind of a lunchtime one, so everyone's been out this morning heading back to the ship, probably for lunch. In my case, I'm heading back to the ship because I've got a tour coming. 1 o'clock. It's about 12 at a minute to go and get my stuff together. So this afternoon I'm on tour on a riverboat ride, going right around the island, heading off to a beach afterwards. So I'm just walking down to the pier. From there I can see our boat. Having left Roadtown, we headed to the east of the island, where we had a first stop to take in the view and learn about the British Virgin Islands from our onboard guide. They also pulled out the beers for us to enjoy while we bobbed along in the bay. That's Virgin Gorda over there. Here he pointed out some of the islands we could see around us. We were also close to the international airport, which sits on its own island and is reached by a bridge. After a short stop, it was time to carry on circumnavigating the island, heading north. The tour itinerary also included an hour's stop at a beach, so make sure you bring your swimming stuff with you. But you don't have to get off the boat if you're not a strong swimmer. Unfortunately, it doesn't actually pull up onto the beach. Look at the colour of that water. So you basically have to jump off the boat for a swim. This is not a waterproof camera. I'm going to go and enjoy myself. While I'm enjoying myself in the sea, don't forget to click on that like and subscribe button. Comment what you would do. Would you be jumping in the sea and going for a swim? I've squeezed $20 into the cap of my sun cream. So it's either going to be sun creamy, but hopefully it won't get soggy by the time I get on the beach for the beach bar. I had 2 beers in Nigel's beach bar on the beach. Now we're off for the next bit around the island. Having circled around the west end of the island, we were ready to head back towards Roadtown.
But first we stopped off near Frenchman's Quay to explore the marina. The best bits of this ribboat adventure were when they started to speed up and we bounced along the waves, and so for the last stretch back to Road Town they did just that. We even had a police boat racing us at one point, although they did beat us. I'm not sure if they let them win. Finally, Marella Voyager came back into view as we returned to Road Town.
That was absolutely fantastic. I've done rib rides before in Norway, actually, in the Norwegian fjords, so that's another recommendation. But yeah, if you get a chance to come out to Tortola and the British Virgin Islands, get on that rib boat. We've circumnavigated the entire island of Tortola. It was absolutely amazing, great fun. I've had a whale of a time, and yeah, brilliant. So yeah, that's really made my day as that one. It's one of the highlights of the cruise. Oh, there's been loads of highlights on this cruise, but anyway, do it. That's our little rib boat going. Marella Voyager there. While we've been gone, I actually did notice Costa, what was it called? Costa, whatever it was called, was sailing away. So we got to watch the sail away as we were zipping around the island. To get back to my cabin and get ready now, because I'm going on a bridge tour tonight. Get to watch the sail away from the bridge. It's going to be amazing as well, isn't it? I tell you, some days you just get reminded how lucky I am. And there we have the beautiful Marella Voyager. The big window at the back, that's the dining room on the other side, latitudes and vista. So when you see me looking out the windows in the restaurant, that's the other half of it. Just lovely, beautiful ships. I love these little Caribbean ports with their little piers that you just walk around to the ship.
After a memorable sail away, it's time for the evening to start. I called in at the art house where there was live music going on my way to Latitudes for dinner. In the theatre, we had Havana Nights, and that was an excellent show as well. To round off the night, me and my solo friends ended up in the Electric Rooms disco until 2 o'clock in the morning. It was a really good night. I always enjoy heading back to my cabin at the end of the night, walking up on a top deck while it's nice and quiet. And Marella Voyager was sailing on to its next destination, St Martin.